What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Uh, Weird stream today. I really just wanted to get on here, play some League while we still can. Let's kind of talk about everything that's going on. As of today, January 18th, we're 2 hours after the TikTok ban happened, which is wild. It is wild that, to me at least, in a country that holds itself so highly, that we can't raise minimum wage, we can't fix housing market, we can't address wealth gap, medical care and needs for just average everyday people after decades, but within months we can force through a ban for an app giving out information for free, letting people voice their opinions, give their thoughts, share creations, share content, just be a sort of beacon for the people, right? But we can force that away within minutes, days, months, whatever it be. It just sucks. We posted it very rarely on there as a channel. We use it a bit, but there's people that built legitimate careers there, people that have spent the past couple years building communities, building followings, building storefronts off this, and done. Because our government is extremely corrupt and we allow people in power that should not be. And yeah, there's some stuff going into today, you know. TikTok obviously gone, Lemonade gone, CapCut gone, all owned by ByteDance. But people didn't really know or understand how deep that actually went, and I didn't even until I tried logging into Marvel Snap. The true app collecting data for the Chinese government and sharing US secrets is Marvel Snap, and that's also gone. Sorry, pick it up here. Yeah, and I was surprised. I had to do some digging, and the more I sat and thought on this, the more things really started to hit for me of what this really means. And it means I'm actually absolutely gonna get shit on by this Lux and misfortune is what it means, actually. Yeah, with TikTok being the first choice, it kind of sets a precedent, right? It sets we're super anti-Chinese because America is incredibly racist across the board, no matter what you are. For other companies, there's been talks. They already just announced earlier in the week or last week that we're classifying Tencent as a Chinese government or military force or something stupid like that. It's 11:30 at night, don't quote me. But they're classified as like a direct enemy now. Which is where I really started thinking about this and wanted to get on tonight to just talk about it, because it's worrying. You know, when we just spent so much time. Well, of course she's level 20. We just spent so much time last year and the year before talking about layoffs, talking about the gaming industry being in trouble and not being able to make enough money and things changing because we can't keep studios afloat and all this stuff. And then you look at what's happening now with Tencent. Who's to say 5-6 months we decide to ban Tencent from America? You know, that's the end of League. That is 100% ownership of League of Legends gone. That is it gets tricky because they don't 100% own everything, but there's companies they own majorities or minorities, and how would those be affected? Riot Games, they own roughly 40% of Riot Games. Are we gonna lose Fortnite in America when it's made here? Ubisoft, with their struggles right now, are openly in talks with Tencent for potential buyouts or whatever it be to keep them afloat. Is that going to be the end of Ubisoft games in America? Is Assassin's Creed just going to be gone? Splinter Cell just going to be gone? Watch Dogs going to be gone? Silent Hill 2 remake last year, Bloober Team, owned by Tencent. Remedy, Alan Wake 2, Control, all these are owned by Tencent. PUBG. Are those just going to be banned in America? Which is wild to think about, but then you look at it from the other side of things, and how are those developers going to stay afloat when arguably the American audience is a large majority chunk of sales, of revenue, of microtransaction sales? If you take all that away, with already how the climate is, they're not going to be able to stay afloat. They're not going to be able to afford to. They have stake in Dark or FromSoft, Kadokawa Group. Like, it's just a wild thought. And it's worrying about where is gaming gonna be now. If Xbox or PlayStation loses those games on their storefront, yeah, they don't take all the revenue, but that's still lost income for them. Because they get what, 30% for sales on their storefronts? Like, it's scary of who's going to survive, what the industry is going to look like. The layoffs is going to be devastating. My heart goes out to everybody in any of these studios that could possibly be affected. The Marvel Snap stuff tonight, even Second Dinner had to post on Twitter like an hour and a half after that they didn't even know this was happening. Like, they didn't even know they were under involvement or whatever it be with ByteDance, the company that owned TikTok and all this. Like, there's so much that goes under the radar as far as ownership, and it's scary. It goes back to people asking for like the old Spider-Man games to show up on Game Pass, or old stuff to show up on Game Pass when it's hard because a lot of those studios either don't exist anymore, their owners don't exist anymore, and no one has any clue who owns all that old stuff. Like, the industry is in such a wobbly place of, it's a multi-billion-dollar thing, but so much of it feels so like fledgling. I just worry who survives, what studios are left next year, what this all looks like. And in the grand scheme of things, like, this goes far beyond just gaming. This goes far beyond what I'm bitching about, but the world is entering a very, very scary time, place, shakeup. Like, it's hard to imagine what the next year looks like, what the next 4 years look like, if that's what it comes to. Like, I'm thinking Switch 2 is supposed to come out this year. It's pretty much leaked that this should be a $400 box, but with tariffs. Is Nintendo going to be able to warrant bringing a $900 console to America now, the way tariffs work? Because no one here seems to know how they work and think it's going to solve everything. Because we're stupid. There's a lot to think about. A lot to think about. In a way, it makes me happy with what we're doing, trying to be a more positive voice for all this. We've created this channel to be a place for people to celebrate games and not spread the negativity or hate or people complaining about DEI or stupid stuff like that. Like, that's not worth it. That's not the problem with what's happening. I'd rather celebrate cool games and people that make them and talk about the games I enjoy. Tencent too, I just learned today looking up stuff for this. They own Discord. 100% ownership of Discord. So again, attack on freedom of speech of taking away social communicable platforms because they don't align with one person's not even political views, but what his billionaire tech friends say. Yeah, I'm don't know if I want to post this on YouTube or not. I probably will just for content since we don't have TikTok anymore, but it's a conversation I want to have with people who are more knowledgeable. I'm not a legal expert. I look into stuff as needed, obviously. But just what this potentially means for the industry. It's a fascinating conversation, and it's so. I mean, this is our lives now. This is what we need to worry about and deal with. And what the precedents of these things happening mean. Who's to say it's to stop at Chinese companies? Who's to say it's to stop? We've already seen Zuckerberg bend over like a little bitch. We've seen Musk show his true colors after people worship the man. Scary time. Scary, scary, scary. Let me know what you think. If I do post this on YouTube, if you have any thoughts, comments, let me know down below. Kind of a not exciting video, but something I want to hear people's views on. Something I want to expand my knowledge on, especially wanting to be a better spot for gaming and a voice for it. I think it's important. But with that, we will continue on with this game here. I'm not doing too bad. I got a kill. Who is that on? Silas?